Yo, what's up, guys? This is John coming at you from E Motors today, and we are looking at another breakthrough in electric dirt bike history from another fancy, well-known OEM, and you guessed it, it's Beta. And we're going to show you a little secret about the design factor behind Beta's new Explorer to come in 2024. But we'll see you back after this. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this bike, but before we do, we want to thank you for checking out our site, our YouTube channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe. We're just trying to give you a basic breakdown of a lot of the new things in the market for electric. As you guess, I'm really excited to see what basically what Beta has to offer for 2024. And I've always been a fan of Beta bikes as far as the look, the aesthetic of it. I mean, they just look pretty amazing. They always look good. And of course now they have their E Moto, which is the Explorer E Moto. MSRP at about 48.90. Probably a little bit more depending on where you are as far as shipping, of course, and taxes, but that is starting off as a good deal. Now let's get into this bike and break down a little bit more of what it's about. So as you can see, it has the classic Beta look. I mean, they just took this bike and made it, their own style with their branding and whatnot. Beta has always good marketing. Now, what I mean by took this bike and made it their own is because it actually is another bike, and they're actually taking they call it a RFN electric bike that's been out for I would say half a year, 8 months. And then they took that platform, rebranded it, slapped a Beta on it, and basically made it look cooler, put some validity to the brand. Um, it's interesting because you can see this big hollow space here where the subframe connects to the main frame, um, and your battery is in line here. Now, there's a couple videos out there to show how do you change the batteries and whatnot, and that's pretty cool. It's a direct drive. It doesn't have a primary and secondary. It's just straight primary chain drive, and I believe it's a 420 chain. I don't think it's a 428. I think it's a smaller chain, but I could be wrong. Yeah, moving on. The thing about this bike, when we get into the specs, is a little bit unique as far as the setup. And when I first saw the bike, I thought, oh, it looks a little bit different. Like something about it looks familiar. It looks really good, but it looks a little bit different. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it until I went down and looked at the specs. Now, of course, you have the skid plate here. I think the controller is right about here, which would make sense, keeping everything nice and tight, and ultimately keeping the gravity really low, which is nice. The subframe back here is pretty much empty, and the subframe on the back looks pretty sturdy. Like, I don't think you'll have too much problems with seat bouncing. It does look a little weird at first because the seat, it looks like it's mounted backwards. It looks like it's a regular dirt bike seat but just flipped around backwards. So with the shorter end on the back end and the longer end, which would be back here, of course, on a regular dirt bike. But from the top view, I gotta admit, they make it look good. And if I wasn't a fan of the RFN, I'm a fan of the Beta one. It looks kind of cool. Hard to see right here, but that's his RFN. And yes, your controller is here, your motor is here to your single stage drive, and then of course your battery pack. Good size battery pack, looks similar to a Suron. You have your charging port, you have your discharge port, strap for lifting it up. I'm only can assume you lift it up from the top, and these are pivot points where you would kind of like disconnect it and yank it up out of the bike body. They have a speedometer, and you see the RFN logo here still branded. You know, three modes. Oh, so slow, rapid, and rocket. Easy to identify where you're at. Let's see, ready. I'm sure you can set this as your like hour meter or whatnot. Your charge bars, your speed, and of course, you know, all the new bikes now are coming in with reverse, and I think we can see that on some of the controls. Um, oh yeah, here you go. RFN. This is the original manufacturer of the bike, and even Beta, they're not trying to hide it. They admit that they have rebranded it to their Beta, I guess their Beta specs and you know the Beta liking. Looks like you have your mode selector here, and I'm possibly this is your reverse, most likely. It's probably like a momentary switch, which some of them are, so that of course the reverse is not engaged all the time. So you momentarily hit the switch, you pull the throttle, bike goes into reverse, you let go of the switch, you go, and then you're back into regular modes. And of course you can go up or down in the modes. Hopefully you can go up and down and not have to cycle around. That's becoming another popular feature with the modes. So that's good. Even the new 2024 Electric Motion Comp will allow you to go up and down as far as the modes are concerned. Now, I believe in the specs, this is a 12 kilowatt motor, which is not bad. And of course, all the crazy guys out there are going to want more power from it. Comes with inverted forks, so you can see the fork guards are on the bottom here. And they also, even the fork guards have a slight inclination of the parent branding of the bike. The one thing I did think was cool, and let's get into the specs. So here you go. 2024 Beta Explorer E Moto, 12.5 kilowatts. Not bad. And yeah, so the battery pack is 74 volts, 35 amp hours. Now that's actually sounding pretty good in comparison to what's out there right now. So 74 times 35, we get 2,590 kilowatt hours, which is actually quite good. And from another spec, I believe on the RFN website, I think they state LG 21700s. And if I'm not mistaken, those are like 5 milliamp or 5,000 milliamp hour cells. So that's why they're getting the battery to that spec. Yeah, 2+ rocket mode, reverse also. So of course they tell you to reverse. Max speed is about 40 miles an hour with whatever gearing they're running. Frame is aluminum with a steel upper structure. Now, does that mean that the main frame is steel and the subframe is aluminum? I guess we'll have to wait and see. This is the big deal that I don't necessarily trust in any brand, especially any EV out there that is you know, claiming range, because the range, as all of us has found out one way or another, it really depends on how you ride. So speed 50 to 100 miles, I mean, that's a pretty big claim. I'm not saying it's false, but that's a pretty big claim. And remind you, we're only working with 2,590 kilowatts hours. So it's a lot, but it ain't that much. And speed 2, 30 to 60 miles. And you see how drastically the mileage gets cut in half. Now, in speed 2, are you pounding it? Are you usually like leisurely using it? Even in speed 1, are you pounding it? Are you quarter throttle, or are you full blast? I don't think you'll get 100 or even 50 to 100 miles at full blast on speed 1. That's just my input from everything that I've learned throughout these years dealing with electric bikes and calculating their ranges. Now, charge time 2 to 3 hours at a 110 volt. That's great. So you don't have to have a special fancy plug. I think KTM learned their lesson when they rolled out the Freeride E at a 220 volt and not giving you the option to go to 110. I thought that was such a bad idea, because you're really tying the people into what you can use. Like, even making it slower and going 110 would have been better than not offering it at all. The Beta looks cool, but there's something weird about it. But here, this is actually what I wanted to talk about right here. Aluminum wheels, machine hubs, 3x18 Kenda knobby tire, and that's cool. Comes with a Kenda, comes with a quality tire, and you're not getting that amazing Chinese tire that we get with all the Surons, stock. And then it has a 2.75 by 19 Kenda front. So that's why it looks cool but different, like we're talking about, in this rendering. Well, obviously this is a rendering, it's not an actual photo, but a 19 in the front and an 18 in the back. I love the fact that they put an 18 in the back right off the bat. That is, I mean, besides the Electric Motion, E Pure, and Escape R, which you should also check out if you're looking at cool electric dirt bikes, is the only one with a clutch. If you're looking at those bikes, they come with 21 and an 18, and the tires that they come with are Michelin Trials tires, which are by far the best on the market right now. Only available in Europe. You can't even get them in the United States. But the fact that Beta has actually taken, I would think they've taken some cues from what people are doing out there as far as mods to the bike. And everyone knows the first thing you do when you buy a Talaria, when you buy a Suron, or when you buy anything that is like a Chinese one, even the Ultra B that's coming up, comes with a 1919. I mean, come on, guys. Like, with 3 years in this game, people have modded these things out to the max, and it seems like Beta is the only one that has kind of taken an initiative to at least give you an 18 in the rear, besides Electric Motion, of course, that always had it. But Electric Motion is a full-size trials bike, so we would not expect anything less, yeah. But yeah, 18 in the back, even though it's a smaller 18, and a 19 in the front. I kind of wish they would just throw a 21 on it already and save us the trouble. That would have been a really cool option, or just standard equipment if it was available, because we know they got a lot of 21-inch wheels sticking around, with their gas models. So, the wheels are there, but yeah, 19, 18. Good on the back, questionable on the front. We'll see. But it might work good, and of course for the price, you can't go wrong. My motto is always you get what you pay for, and I think this Beta will be a good price per, like it'll be a good deal. Front forks adjustable, rear shock adjustable, compression rebound. Fancy. Don't know if those are Chinese brands. As far as the forks, most likely, considering the price, but hey, you get what you pay for. Your digital meter tells you the mode, storage water bottle. Oh, yeah, I guess you can put that water bottle under the seat since you got all that space. Seat height is 33.8. It's pretty decent. Wheelbase 52, not bad. 150 pounds, very good. Max load 265, that's pretty good. Pretty sure some local guys will be pushing that to its limit. And warranty for the chassis, 6 months, yada yada yada. And $48.90 plus $198 shipping, or $400 to Hawaii. Nah, we don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, looking at the bike, it's a good looking bike. And let me just take you over to the RFN website, and there you have it, the RFN. Looks familiar, doesn't it? I'm a buy it, ride it kind of guy. That's why I like Electric Motion so much. I want it out of the box, and I want to just ride it, and I want it to do everything I want it to do, and then with a little bit of tweaks here and there. I'll put grips, I'll put this, I'll do that, I'll put guards, whatever, right? But I'm a buy it and ride it kind of guy. I think this would be a kind of a buy it and ride it kind of bike, as long as you're not, expecting to do massive hill climbs with 25 kilowatts of peak power like some crazy guys I know, and you know who you are out there that catch air at Novice Hill. But the bike looks cool, and if there are options available to be changed to up the power and stuff, it will be there, and it seems like a good platform. So thanks guys again for checking out the video. Please, if you like what you see, please subscribe. I'm always trying to keep everybody in the loop with these little I guess, real light review videos because I don't have the bike personally myself. But yeah, just trying to keep it going with all the brands, not just Electric Motion, not just like the Riehu one that I hope will come out soon, or Stark Varg, which we also are having. But competition is the key to business. Like it's a necessity. We need competition in the market to push everybody to be better. And this is just another OEM brand pushing the limit, pushing the market to where it's gonna be. And eventually, we will all get what we want, and we can have fun, both Moto and E Moto. I don't want anyone to go away. I don't want either one to go away. And I just like to have fun on two wheels. Till next time, guys. Thank you again. Ride with Aloha.